the only purpose of man's sojourn on this earth is to seek God.
Anandamanandakara prasannam Jnanaswarupam Nijbodarupam Yogendra Mediam Bhavarogya Vaidyam Srimad Gurum Nityam Aham Bhajami. I bow to the indwelling Spirit, the Divine One residing in all of us. Let us have a few seconds of silence and introduce ourselves that at the level of consciousness we are one. This is a very sacred congregation and gathering for all of us. I am just being in peace with you, trying to familiarize myself with you at the level of consciousness. So you have to give me some time. Okay, I'm going to today teach you certain sacred techniques. The system and the path of yoga is very dynamic and very realistic. Other ideologies and religions, due to a shortage of foresight, have in them the word death. But I ask you one question. Just as Gorakshanath asked his disciples, Naga Arjun, who asked Talopa, who asked Niropa, who asked Milarepa, tell me what is dead and then come back to me. They still haven't answered the question. Nothing in this world is dead. Get this clear. Nothing in this world is dead. The ground you're sitting on is teeming with life, teeming with the swirling electrons, protons, and neutrons. Everything is animated. But degrees of animation differ. Therefore, when we are in life, we are living a life of mistaken identity, thinking that we are the body and not the soul. The whole purpose of yoga and the spiritual path in dharma, that is the pathway to enlightenment, is to change the gestalt, to create the shift from body consciousness to divine consciousness. That you are not a corruptible body, but a divine soul. You are not a corruptible body, but a divine soul. You are not this house of flesh and bone, which sleeps, decays, and dies. You are immortal consciousness, Lord of the earth and the skies. Now today, I am giving you a very special technique. Who are these people sitting at the back? I don't want anyone here who's not supposed to be here. All people are benefactors here. Is everybody? Why is that benefactor being sitting at the back? Who is that?
That's me, George. Just making sure nothing happens back here.
Okay, are you supposed to be here, or is there? I do not know. If you're not, I don't know how it is organized, but only benefactors are supposed to be here. But you can be out or you be here. I don't know. The organization will find out. But I'm carrying ahead. So, are these windows open? There's no cross ventilation, no draft. Can we open these windows? At least my one, I need a draft. Just one or two across so you get a breeze. We tried to open them last time.
Yeah, last year. They did it.
Yeah, we had requested them last year. Maybe they'll do it.
The door open.
They opened the door.
Yeah, they're locked.
Okay.
Not gonna happen.
No, that'll make a noise. Okay, settle down. So I'm going to give you a technique today. It's called the youthing and younging technique. In this technique, the aging process of your physical body is arrested. The physical body never dies. For as you know, I'm appealing to your logic, nothing dies. Matter can only be transformed. Matter is neither created nor destroyed, but can only be transformed. It is the law of conservation of mass into energy. So you're just going into, the matter is going into a different dimension. And why I'm making you do this, in spite of your Atma, your soul, the great Furohar, your Atma. How many doesn't know what the Atma is? That is the Spirit of God dwelling within you. That is the Atma. That is immortal. It can never die. Your physical body is also cannot die. It can only be transformed. But if you want to assimilate it into a higher principle of the Bodhisattva, then you have to do these techniques. So it's becoming more and more of spirit and less of matter. Although nothing is destroyed, it is only transformed. Therefore, in the Indian system, your whole life is preparing for death. Now, we don't call it death. Your whole life is preparing for the great awakening. Right? Now, when you get to this great awakening, when you get to the end of your physical body and it is ready for transformation, into its own elements, there are many activities of thought, word and deed and emotions which you have done in your life, which need you to pass through certain realms, which is called purgatory. In the Christian thing, it is called purgatory. In India, we call it Devasthan or Devachan, and which thousands of years later came to the Buddhists, and it was called Bardo. For the normal man, he has to pass through it. But in the Indian text, it is always said by the greatest masters that the Indian yogi catches the bardo by the forelock and throws it out of the window. That's what we are doing. No need to give it too much importance, because it is astral illusion, delusion and error which you pass through. You're passing through all the crap that you've created before you get to heaven. You pass through certain subtler astral regions which give you either reward or punishment. Now what I have to explain to you, that many people I meet, they say, hey, let's have wine, women and laughter and sermons and soda water the day after. Let's enjoy life. When I come to the point of death, I'll focus here like Lord Sri Krishna says, and then I'll pass out chanting Om. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Neither can you do that Om, neither can you do the Book of the Dead. Because your whole life must be a continuous training and tuning into the divine consciousness. When you go at the last moment, all your life's deeds are marshaled before your eyes. And you get into a state where you remember those deeds of your childhood and your past life. It's called a state of delirium. How many of you have seen people going to delirium and remembering their childhood days? Grannies and great-grandmothers go into that state. You see that they start talking that, hey, push my swing a little harder. Harder, Martha. Come on, I'm enjoying the swing. So they're speaking in a delirium. Those are their past actions. So by the momentum of the force of their past scars, their past actions, they are driven to what they do most. A crook will always at the dying end think of him breaking us, finding the combination of the lock, breaking the safe and stealing. A fellow who has drugs will constantly get to him taking the final drug, the mescaline, like who says Aldous Huxley. But Huxley must remember that these are temporary things. The sum total of effects is marshaled before your eyes, before your pran leaves your physical casement, which is transformed dust to dust, water to water, fire to fire, air to air, and soul to soul. And the spirit is free, spirit to spirit. So in our system, we do not give much importance to clearing up the crap. We put on the light. In other systems, they say, oh, you must atone for their sins, there's true confessions. I tell them, look, don't waste time. Your body, your mind, your room is dark. Just go in there and put on the light of Kriya Yoga, and the darkness will go. This is the Indian yogic system of the yogic philosophy. This is the way it is done in yoga. We do not tamper with the bardo tall or the purgatory or any intermediate state of the lower astral world. Because as you all know, in the autobiography of a yogi, Sri Yukteswar has described these states of bardo. Right? Why does Gurunath not give it importance? Because he gives you a higher technique. Do not chase the darkness away. Put on the light, dear souls. Put on the light and the darkness is not. But you cannot put on the light once and say the darkness will go. You have to do it 1,000,000 times. So when your death comes, it's your second nature, automatic action. The lights go on. Death comes, automatic action. The lights go on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're doing this so many times, now I can see it without the Jyoti Mudra. I close my eyes and I see the light, the 5-pointed star. The clear light, Shivanetra Tara, the clear light is known as Shambhu Chaitanya, Shambhu Chaitanya, Shambhu Chaitanya. Say after me, Shambhu Chaitanya. Why are you saying it disorganized? Shambhu Chaitanya. Now say it with me. Shambhu Chaitanya, 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 Shambhu Chaitanya. Come on, whip your tongues. Finished. Benzene is over. Petrol finished. Energy is finished. Okay, listen. You guys are not collected and organized for my techniques. I often ask Babaji and Lord Shiva, why I've been sent here, what is my work? Am I a damn misfit here? I am a misfit, but I'm trying to fit into you. Please try to understand the import of what I'm giving you. I'm giving you processes which clear your body, mind and soul, so that at death you do not have to pass through purgatory and bardo, you will go straight to the clear light. Why? Because you've been practicing it hundreds of times again and again and again and again. You have become addicted to God. You have become addicted to God. So I want you to addict you to God. You can't say, oh, I just learned the bardo and at the end I practice this and all. You are not going to practice that and all. You're going to be, there's going to be a kick-ass system and you're going to be kicked really hard. There's no cheating. You can't cheat and fudge. Or you can't say, oh, I'll just go and Lord Krishna said, I'll sit in lotus posture and I'll put my ear here. Om. Do you think it's easy to do that? If you think so, I burst your bubble tonight. You have to be repeatedly in that zone. You have to practice, practice, practice. Day and night. You can't say, oh, I'll come, I've taken the advanced techniques. Oh, I've been to, Joseph Eustine's evangelist lectures and I'll be liberated. He told me, I've been to Kalu Rinpoche's technique, I've been to the Dalai Lama, I've been to the Tibetan system, I've been to Guru Nath and I've learnt all the Kriya. You may have been to all the people in all the world, I don't care. Are you trained? Is it your second nature? That as soon as you close your eyes, you see the light and you're gone through it. Then and then alone, you'll go straight to the clear light. The eternal flame, the Chaitanya, the clear light. So you have to cut through the agency of delusion, illusion and error. Om Bhum Bhuvam Swaham Maham Janam Tapam Satyam. 7 places. Where does the bardo come? Om Bhum Bhava Om Swa Ha. So only the second and third stage. There are 7 states to go. I'm telling you to hit for Om Satyam. These are the techniques of Kriya Yoga which get you to the highest sphere, and in the process rub out the negative astral stuff, all the BS in your mind, all the negativity in your mind, by making you practice day in and day out and clearing that process so you get a clear exit to God. This is important. And the person standing at the door with the gates is none other than Matsyendranath, called Lahiri Mahasaya and Sri Yukteswar. He's also called Avalokiteshwar. Avalokiteshwar, Yukteswar, Padma Sambhav, one and the same person. They hold the keys, not to paradise, but to the highest heavens. So this is very important to understand. In one moment, you cannot train. Suppose you just say, I tell you the technique, okay, now when you go to the Olympics, just chant, oh Lord, give me power, give me strength, and give me the final burst so I win the 100 meters. Give me power. You say it 10 times, and then you go, and you're pitted up against the 100 meter, the blue ribbon event, the hot red ribbon event, the 100 meters dash. How many of you know of the Olympics? How many have not heard of the Olympics? How many have not heard of the 100 meters sprint? How many have not heard of Usain Bolt? You heard of Usain Bolt? He is the world champion. Now you go with a mantra, okay, and you're practicing, you're getting up against a guy who life after life has been running with the panthers, the deers and the wild beasts, and has got his muscles trained like a cougar and a panther in his life, and you're saying, okay, I'm speedy, I'm strong, I'm going to win this race, I'm speedy, I'm strong. And then you enter the race, the results will be disastrous. Before you've started, he will have ended. So same as with death, you cannot slide into moksha, you cannot get to the final state unless you practice, 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 dear souls. Perseverance is the magic of success. Perseverance is the magic of success. No matter how many books you read in the world, how many philosophies you study, how many organizations of yoga and meditation you do, if you don't practice the one solitary technique, why do you want to go to the lower techniques? Of getting through the astral realm, of getting through, Devachan or Bardathal or purgatory. Leave your purgatory behind, man. Leave your purgatory behind. Take your opening doses well before. Clear your stomach, clear all the BS. Get ready. By the time you're dead, you should be a glowing light. Your body should become the clear light. Every time I come to you in the night, in the dream weaver, I'm doing the bardo with you. Every time. And with all modesty I say, all humility here, in the known world, nobody else is doing it. I have to make it clear to knock off the BS in your mind, that you're coming here, you're very special people, that's why you come here, and I will do the dream weaver too. The shortcoming will not be from my side when I appear to you in the dream, in the bardo, and I clear your negativity and the BS. I always tell you, don't I, that I am the garbage man and you're the can. So open the can, let the garbage man do his work and clean you. When it is repeatedly done and the master touches you in your astral and causal body, then the process of cleansing starts. Purgatory is just a process of cleansing. The Devachan, the bardo is a process of cleansing. We don't need to do it. We've long passed it. So you'll come into your bardo and we'll clean it all at once. So only when you repeatedly practice on the track and field events. Michael Phelps. Anyone heard of Michael Phelps? Do you know the sort of practice he does? I saw a video in which he practiced. They lay their life on the line, man. You can't just go and say at the last moment, now I'm a water torpedo. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to go at the speed of light. It won't do. It won't do. Till for 100 lives you practice in the pool and you're swimming, then you will be born a human fish, a barracuda, then you'll get the speed. So what we are trying to do here with you, do you understand that this is not merely a fun game or something? I'm here transforming your lives to cross the bridge of samsara, to cross the bridge of not only the physical but the astral, and get straight to the clear light of the Chaitanya, the inner star, Shivanetra Tara, the star of the eye of Shiva, the jewel in the soul. And therefore you need practice these techniques. They are all moving towards life. So after your life, you will not die, you will get to the great awakening. I need to tell you something, and I will confess before you. Many people have faith in me, and they have come and told me, Gurunath, we have been to many teachers, but I have come to you. I did not have faith there that they would be by my bedside when I died. They used the word death. I said, I'll be there when you awaken, not die. And they told me that because I have faith, I am with you. Because there's something in you that I feel that you can do it, even when you're not in this body. And the day before yesterday, I won't take names, I was put to a test, not once or twice. And both the times, the person before dying, I'm telling you this, to have solace that I promise you that you will not, those who practice sincerely the Kriya Yoga and Jyoti Mudra will not die in darkness. They will be ushered by the light to the great tunnel of joy, to Satchidanand, the existence, consciousness and bliss. And even if you go to the bardo, you will be saved and protected by the Guru, every path, every footstep of the path. This is a fact.
Amen.
And so, when he went, he said, you want this photo or Jesus or Krishna or this thing? He said, no, just get me Gurunath's. And he got my photo, and while he was passing away, he closed his eyes and he said, I can see him even with closed eyes. I have no pain in the cancer, no pain in my prostate, my throat, my lungs. I'm in bliss. I am going. It is not my effort because I have not made enough. It is his effort and I am gone. So when I got this news, I myself had not confidence that I would keep my word. It is a great responsibility to be by the bedside of a person when he gets through his greatest moment of joy is when what you call is death, because that is not your death, that is the awakening into the divine light. In our philosophy, we have no death. As Lord Krishna has said, Nayanam chandati shastrani, nayanam dehati pavaka, na kledayanti apana shoshayati maruta. You are the divine soul, O Arjun. Your body but a garment is in karmic web enthralled. You are the divine soul. Focus not on the body, but focus on the soul. For you are the divine soul. The water cannot wet you, the breeze cannot dry you, the weapons cannot pierce you, the fire cannot burn you. You are the immortal Atma, O Arjun, and therefore live without fear. Fight the good battle, for if you win, you shall rule as supreme king, and if you die, you shall attain final moksha. So this is, Arjun was known as the Mahatapan, the great tapasvi. It's constant and deep meditation for years. So this is my message to you. Don't get caught up in emotions. Don't get caught up in the bardo. There's no need. This is for the yogis. I'm speaking to the yogis. Now you'll ask me, how about the ordinary people? Yes, for the ordinary people in India, we have 3 processes when a person dies or after he is dead to guide him. Like in Tibet, they have one process which was taken from Indian books, which Nagarjuna wrote, was taken to Tibet and preserved then, is called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is not a Tibetan Book of the Dead. It is the Indian Book of the Dead. Or if you want to be like that. But I'm saying it's the human book. It is to guide people by constant vibration after they have left their physical body to go back to its elements. They have one book which has come from the land of India, land of libations, the Tapobhumi. So there are 3 processes. When a person dies a normal death, he has to go through purgatory. He is not like us, a yogi practicing, and neither has Gurunath given them the word that even if you don't practice, I will be by your bedside. No. So they have a book called the Garud Puran. The Garud Puran. The Purana is the ancient history and genealogy of all your ancestors, all your families and spiritual practices which are done. So you not only pay the debt of your karmic leisure of yourself, but also of your ancestors. It is called the Garud Puran. So this is for normal people. It is read for 10 days, the same practices in Tibet. After 3 days, the soul disengages itself from the ethereal and physical body. The same is given in the Persian doctrine of the Zen Davasta of the Parsis, 72 hours. India says 72 hours. Tibetan Yoga, 72 hours. After that, the reading of the Garud Puran carries on for 10 days. During this process, the soul is guided step by step into the places it goes, and it is told what it is in old language. Many of it is metaphorical. It has to be taken in a practical sense and interpreted. It's codified, the Garud Puran. It has to be taken in a practical sense that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Whatever he did karmically, he has to repay in those astral spheres. Bhur Bhava Swaha. Then there is another book of the dead for people who have died a premature death, in accident, and in unforeseen circumstances. There we have a pole. So it is known as a Pishachik death. Then for him, the person to listen after 72 hours, they have a pole on it which they have an asan like this, and they tie the red asan, it's red in color. The dead soul comes there and listens. That is called the Bhagavat. They read the Bhagavat. The resonant frequency and the vibrations of the Bhagavat release that soul from its astral shell and lets it go to the causal shell. These shells have to be broken as they are guided through the paths and tunnels and various alleyways. They are not only tunnels, there are oceans to swim, there are mountains to climb, there are tunnels to go through. The tunnel of light comes later, the tunnel of clear light. Even the cosmos has to go through the great wormhole. Even our galaxy is subject to this, the book of the Great Awakenings. So the first book of the Great Awakening, which is a misnomer called death, is called the Garud Puran. The second book of the Great Awakening, guiding you through these difficulties, is the Bhagavatam. And the third, for liberated soul, either you can read the Shiv Puran or the Bhagavad Gita. So these books are guiding factors to the soul that is departed from the body, but is still lingering in its astral form. It lingers, and to break that lingering spook, that astral being, which sometimes you see apparitions and ghosts, that is the soul which is marking time till its liberation happens. Suppose a soul is to live 80 years, it dies at a premature death at the age of 50 years. It marks time in limbo for 30 years. I'm giving you this knowledge because it was needed. You needed to have a certain background. So, according to the great Chinese philosopher Liu Tang, he says that India is the source and the mother of all spiritual language. A trickle of it went out and inundated the whole of Southeast Asia, and later its fragrance and influence spread to the Western world. The deepest known and codified language in the minds of the people, very bad Indians at writing and codifying. Today even you will meet people who will chant 10 Bibles all by heart in one shot. They have it printed in the indelible substance of the mind. This is very important to know. And you must be rested at this, that we are taking you, this is the main factor to scoop you out of that space. This is only for you, not the common lot. The people who practice Kriya Yoga shall not die in darkness, provided it's a sincere, persevering practice. Don't take this as some tea talk or parlor talk. And it is not, come walk into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. It's not a trap either. I'm not a spider and you're not the fly. But I will liberate from the web of the spider of delusion, illusion and error. You are in the web. You think you are a physical body and have a soul. The greatest gift of India is its patterns of breathing, where it teaches you to disengage from the trammels of the senses and free your soul to unite with the infinite Spirit of God. This is the sum and substance of the teachings. This is the purpose. The only purpose of your journey on this earth is to seek God. Don't seek Bardotol, don't seek purgatory, don't seek anything less. The yogi, as you are strong, catch it by the forelock and throw it out of the window. I'm very strong against this teaching because I have been one of the main proponents of Tibetan yoga and Buddhism. And I was born in India a long time back ago. And I went to Bhutan and Tibet and set up all their system. Do you know that they had no language of their own? Do you know where the language came from for Tibet? It came from India. The great scholars and yogis of India chalked out a language which is spoken by them called the Tibetan language. Now the son is telling the father, come, I will teach you some yoga. So now say if Michael Norse or Pam or Matt Hodges or Yoso tell me, come on Gurunath, we'll teach you, Dylan's has got some new yoga. We'll go to him and we'll think. I won't be very interested, you know. He'll be teaching my own stuff. Old wine in new bottles. Old wine in new bottles. So please don't get mixed up, because many of you are going, I would not go into the sphere of the emotional body. It's very bad. It wastes a lot of time. Be clear. Have compassion, but don't get involved in emotion. The astral body is to be cleansed thoroughly. And this is done by the constant breathing of Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is the factor.